Welcome to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Overwatch 2. It's finally released. We are broadcasting from the Shenandoah Esports Arena. And tonight we are kicking off this one-shot Rumble, starting things off with the Eagles taking on the Barracudas. I am, as always, Josh Cunningham, and joining me is the magnificent Xander Merle-Smith. Xander, how are you feeling about these games tonight?
Well, I'm doing great, and I'm feeling great about these games tonight. Over and over, we've seen these teams. There's a little bit of a shakeup with the rosters going on this week, but over and over, we've seen these teams and these players come back week in and week out and compete at the top level of the Esports Tower Rumble, and they always surprise me. I always see something new. The last time I was on the desk with you, we saw some incredible matches and some really exciting ways that they were able to secure wins, and I'm looking forward to seeing what those strategies, kind of how they pan out tonight.
Yeah, especially with the newly released game, Overwatch 2, some new strategies going to be implemented from these teams, completely different from the beta rumbles, where they just, were playing more like Overwatch 1 style, but now everyone's like, oh, wait, the game is kind of different. There is a new flow. So that is definitely being established, and we're going to see how the Barracudas and the Eagles are able to take each other on here in just a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to see these teams go head-to-head. The Barracudas have been a fan favorite throughout these Rumbles. I believe this is the first time we're seeing the Eagles and the Wolves tonight. And again, this is a one-shot Rumble, so we'll be going all the way to grand finals this evening. Only going to have 3 matches for you, but they are going to be some heaters. And I cannot be more hyped up to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Eagles tonight, Coach has been telling us that they've been working on their compositions and teamwork, trying to figure out who their tanks are going to be, what tanks are going to be playing and what roles and what compositions. So a lot of things to work out, and the best time to figure out those compositions is in practice, but you get the heat of the, you get the test of metal, of competition when you're in the matches. And so there's no better time to really solidify how you're going to work those things out than in these esports rumbles. And the Eagles are also, they're playing with a bit of a mixed roster this evening. So they're going to be working on their communication, and getting that nailed down early is going to be paramount.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen multiple times how important building momentum is in these rumbles, and communication is going to be a great way to start kind of moving that ball forward for these teams, especially as a lot of them are on new rosters and things have been switched up. To start things off, though, for match number 1, as the Eagles take on the Barracudas, we are going to be heading to push New Queen Street. Again, this is one of my favorite maps here in Overwatch 2 for push. It's just so unique with the way that the robot moves through a valley, and basically the buildings function as hills for the players to kind of take high ground on and shoot at the people trying to move the robot through the valley. So it's a really, really awesome map, very different to a lot of the other push maps, which are, I'd say, a bit more flat and don't offer as much high ground variability as New Queen Street does. But man, I cannot wait to see the Brawl and Rush comps that we are about to for these teams.
And big shout out to the production there. I mean, these new graphics. I haven't been on the production in a while, and look at that little map graphic they had going on. I'm just so excited to be here, so I'm ready for some games.
Especially with that fresh haircut, looking very fine, if I do say so myself. But yeah, I mean, I cannot be more excited to get into game number 1 here.
Here we go. Once again, the Eagles versus the Barracudas. Barracudas been consistently working on their flex DPS. That's Shy Pengi in that role. He's really shined the past couple of weeks. So we'll wait and see just how Shy Pengi will do today. And also, they really feel like the show matches last week helped them adapt to the changes in the Overwatch 2 meta and feel very confident heading into the Rumble tonight. And I know this roster is not anywhere near the same the last time I was commentating for these guys, but Barracudas consistently have been a very, very strong team.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see Sweatpants hopping on the tank for them, but they still have Triplet on that support. Illusion going to be able to take out Echo online. That's going to open up the fight for the Barracudas, but Naiwa was immediately able to get the trade onto the DPS of the Eagles. Sweatpants taking out their line of Triplet, getting the pick from actually going to just be getting the pick onto C-Squared. And the Barracudas coming out on top to start, but Naiwa's not gone yet, still has some support. Going to be looking to regroup here. Yeah, the Barracudas able to take the objective quite quickly here and are now starting to move forward.
Fun fact about Sweatpants. This is an 8th grader playing on this team. So the ability to mesh with some of these older players, some of these high school players, is going to be really, really cool to see if Sweatpants is going to be able to fit into these roles as one of those younger players. And I mean, obviously, already very talented if playing with the Esports Tower Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to see Naiwo, the tank from the Eagles, make some plays on the objective and secure it for their team. They're going to be able to move forward now as Secrets finds the last pick onto Illusion. And we're going to see Naiwo just take a lot of space here forward. They're going to have to be careful of that flank through the stairs on the side. Naiwo aware of it, moving back over to that position. Illusion actually able to get up on top of the door frame there. That could be useful in your casual matches. Definitely pay attention to that spot. But yeah, I mean, we're going to see the overclock come online for Illusion. Naiwo has that shatter. Window goes down, though, for the Eagles. They're able to find a lot of picks onto the Barracudas through it. Illusion not going to be able to use that ultimate just yet. Window completely shutting down the Barracudas recontest.
Yeah, big win for the Eagles early there to continue this push and pressure and get this early lead. We're talking about trying to get that communication going early, and that's exactly what's happened for the Eagles. They utilized their ultimates perfectly and have gained this steady lead and are continuing this push, honestly, and maybe even get to this checkpoint where they can update their spawn point.
And we're going to see the Window now come out from the Barracudas with that overclock, going to be offering a lot of damage for the team. The Eagles do have a beat if things go sideways. Secret's going to pop their overclock themselves, see if they can find some picks now that the Barracudas ultimates have run out. Grab is online. It's going to be used immediately onto Naiwo. There comes the beat from the Lucio C Squared. Going to be doing a great job to keep the team alive, and Naiwo able to swing onto Sweatpants, and the Eagles continue the pressure.
That was perfectly timed from C Squared, dropping that beat, making sure all the Eagles continue to stay healthy despite being in a very compromising position there.
We're going to see the Echo come in from the flank with the high noon to Bubble, and I feel going to stop it. The Barracudas not going to let that cheeky play happen. Shy Pengi going to be getting beat and now ready with the blade, going to be diving onto the back line, looking to find one. Illusion going to be able to take out C-Square, but Naiwo goes down as well, and Shy Pengi finds the second. Luki finding Soup, and the Barracudas moving forward here, doing a great job to cancel out Echo's ultimate and then move forward with their own. Eagles going to be back with that Window, though. We'll see if Soup's able to find the same value they did last time.
Obviously, the Eagles, lots of them going down there in that fight, but Shy Panky barely staying alive through that ultimate, and that was so important for the success of that team fight for the Barracudas, and now are going to be back in it here. Now, 2 Eagles already down. Naiwo and Ikun line already. Oh, Echo online. Oh my gosh, there's no space in that, and I couldn't tell what it said.
Actually, the Window trade going to be one out by Barracudas there. We saw Triplet and Soup both use their ultimate. Triplet definitely getting more value out of that one this time. Ultimates now coming online once again for the Eagles are going to be that Shatter and Overclock soon, and it looks like the Barracudas are going to be out of everything except for their own Overclock for this next team fight. And to see the Eagles now recontest the objective.
Still partially in favor of the Barracudas. No ultimates up for either side. Shy Panky dropping low, but staying alive narrowly. Going to get a huge heal off, and that's going to be huge for the Barracudas, continuing to be able to keep control of this team fight temporarily. Secrets dropping, but Shy Panky and Illusion for Barracudas drop, and the advantage is still in nobody's ball game. Still 3-3 in this team fight.
However, the Eagles are now missing a DPS as well as that support, and Tank got sent back to spawn. Sweatpants able to just roll through the team forward with Triplet, and now the Barracudas are looking to continue this pressure as another grab is about to be ready. Triplet also almost back to that Window once again.
All right, back to 5-5. Barracudas in control of the robot here and steadily gaining ground, knowing that gray indicator in the top left is where they need to get to match the score of the Eagles. And that's a huge shatter. And is it going to be enough to take down one of the Eagles? Not quite.
It was enough, though, to open up the space to separate Shy Pengy from the team, blocking that Zarya from getting any value. But now the ultimate's there with the response from the Barracudas, and they take out almost the entire team. There's the team kill, I believe. There it is. And Sweatpants now moves forward, taking this space. An absolute great job just giving that space. I-Field coming out from Triplet, saving the Barracudas from that shatter is just absolutely awesome. Yeah, we're going to see the Eagles now have to recontest from their spawn.
Did I see Sweatpants on a 10-kill streak here? The 8th grader is absolutely stepping up in a time of need. But now, Lukey falling early in this fight. Can Barracudas respond with a kill of their own? Yes, Echo Online going down, Naiwo low. And this is going to be a close one. Illusion and Shy Pengy continuing to stay just about 10% health. Finally, Illusion falling.
And Shy Pengy going to be using that blade, going to get countered by C-Squared's beat. Fortunately, that beat 4 is going to be enough to just keep the Eagles alive. Eagles now back on the point as Lukey drops their own beat and the Barracudas try to push forward with all of that HP.
It's going to be enough now, though, as Naiwo, Echo Online, C-Squared, and Soup all fall. Secret's the lone player alive for the Eagles. And now, the Barracudas, with 3 minutes left on the clock, have taken the lead.
And the Barracudas looking really strong right now. Another ultimate almost ready. 3 ultimates, in fact, for the Barracudas. Only going to be coming up on 2, which is the window and shatter for the Eagles. But the Barracudas will get that grab and overclock first. It's online. Let's see if they decide to pop it here. Wait for that shield to go down. You can see Bubbles come out here. And the window as well with that overclock is going to be an awesome combo for the Barracudas to finish this game. See if they're able to do it here. I-Field goes down from the Eagles. Illusion just hitting these shots, able to take that out very early. But now Sweatpants is in danger, able to back off a little bit, but unfortunately, Echo was going to be able to get taken down. Lukey, I mean, got taken down, and Sweatpants not there with any supports.
Yeah, Josh, we've typically only ever gone to time in a push match. So to see the Barracudas get so close to the finish line there, maybe closing out the game, pushing it all the way to the other goal instead of going to time, that would have been a feat in itself.
Speaking of feats here, we're probably going to see another awesome grab come out from the side of Sweatpants, and there it is, going to be able to find 2 in it. And the grab actually is the one that took out the Genji. I don't know if I've actually ever seen a grab kill before, so Sweatpants able to do enough damage with the gravity alone. And yeah, I mean...
Do you know what the damage associated with that ability is?
I think it does a little bit of AoE damage, like it slightly ticks up like Sojourn's ability that you just saw there, that ball on the side. If people step in that area, it'll do a slight tick of damage. So if they're low HP, it's definitely very dangerous. And we saw Shy Pengy unfortunately Echo Online unfortunately was in that situation. They were again, as Trip was able to take them down. Shy Pengy trying to play forward here for the Barracudas with that blade now ready. Sweatpants able to take out Naiwo, and this could be it for the Barracudas. Blade comes out from Shy Pengy, and they're going to be able to take out Soup, and that could do it for the Barracudas. They're just trying to push forward. Echo Online getting one swipe by Shy Pengy as well as that robot slowly pushes towards the cart, but the contest comes out from the Lucio, and that's going to keep them in the game just a little bit longer. But now 1 meter left. Ooh, another recontest, but Secrets is going to get taken down. We're going to see awesome heals come out from Triplet as well as that window. Definitely going to secure that victory for the Barracudas. What an amazing way to end that game.
Oh my gosh, Shy Pengy hunting down the Eagles one by one with that blade at the end. That was fantastic. I mean, gaining control, you already are up in players, right? You have control of the team fight. But then utilizing that and knowing that you need to make sure to scare off everyone and make that point uncontested so you can possibly push it to the end before the time elapses. Fantastic job, fantastic communication, well played by the Barracudas in game number 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, an absolutely great way to start off the night for the Barracudas. We saw a great performance from the Eagles early on, but once Sweatpants and Shy Pengy were able to just get into a mode, as well as Triplet on that Baptiste, they were just having a great game. C-Squared using great beats for the side of the Eagles, but unfortunately, Lukey just going to have a bit more success for the Barracudas.
Absolutely. Great Overwatch so far. We've got more coming up. I am stoked.
I cannot wait to head into map number 2, which is going to be our hybrid game mode on Midtown, which means there's going to be a point for them to contest before they're able to move the payload through another 2 checkpoints to secure 3 3 points for their team, and then it'll switch sides. We'll have the other side go on the attack, and we'll see who's able to push that cart farther. Will it be the Eagles or the Barracudas? The Barracudas looking to close this out early. We'll see if the Eagles respond and to push us to Game 3.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the loser of Game 1 will pick map number 2 and subsequently map number 3 if it goes to a Game 3. So this is an Eagles pick, if I'm not mistaken. So it could be to their benefit if they feel like they play better here on Midtown.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be heading into game here, and I could not be more excited to see the Eagles take on the Barracudas. Once again, we saw the Eagles have a great start to their match. We're going to have to see if they're able to find that momentum early and this time sustain it throughout the rest of the game. But man, Sweatpants is doing a great job managing space. Niwa was taking it so aggressively, but Sweatpants was able to just know when to give and move back in with their ultimate and just win so many team fights for the Barracudas here.
And, of course, now actually Sweatpants getting subbed out here for King Swiffer, freshman out of Boise, Idaho. So this is going to be another young blood coming into this team and try and keep things fresh.
Ooh, and here we see King Swiffer immediately open things up with Illusion onto the Eagles, who just got immediately sent back to the spawn. Naiwo going to be able to take out Shy Pengy. That's a great pick for the next team fight here as the Eagles have the spawn advantage. We're going to see what they do with it, if Shy Pengy will be able to get back to the fight fast enough. Barracuda's moving back up to the high ground now as the Eagles get reset, waiting for the tank.
Yeah, no changes on the roster on the side of Eagles. We did say they were trying to figure out exactly what sort of roster they wanted to go, what sort of team comp they wanted to go with tonight. And it seems as though once they got it locked in, they are pretty happy with the starting 5 that they have here going tonight. And boy, oh my goodness, Secrets barely staying alive here, but eventually falling, and now it's just going to be Echo Online, left alive as the Barracudas already showing early dominance in these team fights.
Yeah, it looks like they're just able to really maintain this space so well here, just completely denying the contest of the high ground early on. And once the players try to move over to the point, the Barracudas responded, just completely cleaned up the team. We're going to see Illusion here now pushing forward towards the spawn as Reaper looking to get an early pick, stagger the Sojourn, going to be bringing them down to 1 HP. You can't lose those 1v1s though. Echo Online going to be getting the better of that trade now, and that's going to set up the Eagles for success, especially as King Swiffer goes down near the point. We're going to see the Eagles now push forward. Triplet going to be forced to use that eye field. Unfortunately, was not able to keep the tank alive. We're going to see if King Swiffer will be able to get back to the point before this fight ends. Barracuda is trying to maintain as much space as possible and take out Secrets, but Lukey is going to go down to Echo Online. Ultimate from Niall going to be able to take out Shy Peng. Triplet trying to make something happen, but Illusion going to actually have the response for the Barracudas with that amazing Death Blossom, finding 2 players as well as able to take out the tank, and man, the Barracudas were able to sustain.
Wow. And up until that point, that was like one of the first, what I feel like, first true team fights that we saw. Up until this point, it's kind of been a series of 1v1s or 2v2s, kind of scrappy, right? Nobody really filing into the same spot. And the Eagles opting to kind of split up and try and divide and conquer. So far, Barracuda's holding strong, winning most of the ones. Shy Panky again falling very low, but with a giant sword in your hand, you usually have the advantage, even if you are bringing it to a gunfight.
Especially with an amazing support like Triplet, putting the eye field down to get as much value out of that blade as possible, and it worked for the Barracudas, who are still keeping the Eagles from the first point, not even getting a tick yet. Echo Online going to have the only ultimate ready so far. We're going to see a Nano come online as well. See if they decide to give it to the Sojourn or the Secrets from the side of the Eagles once that Ana gets full charge.
Josh, if the Eagles don't get any points here or move this forward, oh my goodness, the devastation between the Barracudas and the Eagles. Barracudas absolutely dominating in that particular fight, and lots of ultimates still available for the Eagles, so they still have a chance, but they need to get something going fast. Otherwise, the Barracudas almost have to do nothing on offense.
We are about to see the Eagles all 5-man rush to the point. Nanoblade coming out to try and open things up. Soup's going to find Shy Pengy. That's going to open things up for the Eagles as they approach the point. Overclock Online going to be used by Echo, trying to take out this Baptiste. Going to have to look at the eye field first. Unfortunately, no one was able to touch the point from the side of the Eagles. They had all 5 ultimates, but they didn't have the speed on the team to get to the point fast enough, and the Barracudas are able to have a very dominant round number 1.
Oh my goodness. This round, this game may be over as in a blink of an eye, folks, as the Barracudas only need to get about a third of the point before they will take home game number 2 and the match.
And I think King Swiffer definitely had the best play there with that grab, just jumping into the back line, completely avoiding the other team's tank, trying to find as many people as they can to really secure that last 30-second fight. What a great play from the side of the Barracudas. And the Eagles going to have a very similar game. Not even going to have to allow a single tick to go to the side of the Barracudas. Otherwise, they will take the victory in this series.
Yeah, it's going to take a very strong defensive stance from the Eagles here. They basically have to play perfectly for 4 minutes, just like the Barracudas just did. Do I believe that that sort of defense is capable after showing how dominant the Barracudas were just now? It's hard to say. They looked very, very strong, holding down the Eagles and, like I said, winning a bunch of their 1v1s. And honestly, whenever they came together for a team fight, they were absolutely perfect.
And now we're going to see both teams actually pull out the Sombra, who has been a menace in Overwatch 2 so far. We'll see how much value they're able to get from the characters. Both teams are going to mirror that pick. Naiwo able to take out Shy Pengy very early. But we're going to already see the Barracudas have a player on the point, going to get the recontest from the Eagles at C-Squared, stopping Illusion in their tracks. Triplet able to take out Naiwo for the Barracudas. Not going to be able to get a successful hack, though, from Echo Online yet.
And like I said, early picks are huge for the Eagles because it continues to stop the Barracudas a little bit from doing the kind of team fight-oriented style that they want to do. But if the Barracudas can confuse the Eagles enough, they can just sneak somebody by and put them on point. And that's something that the Eagles need to watch out for because they don't have any breathing room.
And the Eagles, now aware of this, are all going to be stacked up on the point and in the doorway. But King Swiffer and Shy Pengy are just moving forward. Full charge Zarya is going to be a very big pain to deal with 3 players on the point. There's not going to be a recontest opportunity for the Eagles, and that is going to do it for match number 2 as the Barracudas take victory so quickly there. The Eagles, unfortunately, just not able to find their foothold after the fight was able to move to point. Zarya, King Swiffer, just going to be able to build so much charge and just do so much damage.
I will say, even though now that the Barracudas have won, they have punched their ticket to the finals, Eagles, they have a second chance. Next up, they're going to be taking on the Wolves to see if they're able to figure out some of those things that were plaguing them, to see if they can get back against the Barracudas in the finals. I mean, the way the Barracudas are playing, they look very strong. I'm not sure. I haven't seen these Wolves play yet, and I'm for... I can't think of the word right now, so you take over, and I'll be right back with that thought.
All right. Well, we definitely saw Naiwo having a great game on Reinhardt to start things off on New Queen Street against the Barracudas. But as we moved against as we moved on to Midtown, we saw the Roadhog come out from the pick. I don't know, as you were saying, a lot of these teams are trying new things, really figuring out what tank is best. I don't think Roadhog, unfortunately, is going to be the pick, especially against the Zarya. They're just so powerful right now. But, you know, I think that change could have really led to a lot more success for the Eagles on the second map. But King Swiffer just going to be so good on the Zarya. They're just able to move forward, unfortunately, for the Eagles. And I think that has been a great way to start off the night. If you are enjoying yourself, you should make sure to check out Esports Tower on all social medias. That's going to be at Esports Tower on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, I don't know if they have a TikTok, but if they do, go check it out at Esports Tower. And if you like Shenandoah Esports and you want to hear more about us, you should check us out at ShenU Esports on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, on YouTube and Twitch at Shenandoah Esports. So again, Shenandoah Esports on YouTube.com and Twitch.tv. If you're here right now, thank you for watching. Make sure to check us out on our other socials and follow Esports Tower at Esports Tower. But yeah, so far a great Rumble tonight as we head into the second series after a quick break.
You want to rank up in Overwatch or Valorant? Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. We'll match you with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
Welcome back once again. We are, of course, broadcasting the Esports Tower Rumble in Overwatch 2 one-shot tournament tonight. We are broadcasting from the Shenandoah Esports Arena, and we are about to watch the Eagles take on the Wolves after the Eagles just suffered a tragic defeat to the Barracudas. But they have one more chance to make it to the finals for the evening if they are able to take on the Wolves successfully. The Wolves, though, looking and being hungry for that final spot as well. We'll see if they move on to take on the Barracudas later. As always, I am Josh Cunningham, and joining me again is Xander Merle Smith, the magnificent and marvelous. But before we get into any games, we have a quick message from our friends over at Esports Tower. We want to take a moment to congratulate all of the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs and have been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower Club members have received over $3.6 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players on this list are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we cannot be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities that these players are getting. Again, Esports Tower doing a great job promoting this platform, promoting these players who are now able to find these scholarship opportunities through Esports Tower, which is just such an amazing thing for Esports Tower to provide the platform for these players to be found by these schools. And yeah, I mean, great job, Esports Tower. Shout out to them again. You can check them out at esportstower.com and at Esports Tower on all the social medias. But yeah, we're going to head into now the Eagles taking on the Wolves. Map number 1 going to be Push Colosio. Xander, how are you feeling about this first map?
Well, I like this map a lot. And I also really love Push. I love that we're starting off with this because it gives that really nice ebb and flow that we see, and it forces players to play both offense and defense continually throughout the entire game. And you really get to see all facets of what a team is capable of. And so with the Eagles, they got off to an early start in game number 1 against the Barracudas, right? They got a team kill. They were able to really utilize some of that early communication that they were talking about, figure out some things early. Unfortunately for them, the Barracudas started to read a little bit about the game plan that the Eagles tried to approach. And eventually would come out with the victory of 2-0. But the Eagles coaches say that they learned a lot from that game and are ready to take on the Wolves. They think that they're pretty ready for this one. And we'll just have to wait and see if that's the case. Apparently, the Wolves have been playing together for a while now. 4 of them on the 5 out of the 5 players played together last week, so that's going to give them a bit of an edge as far as a little bit of team cohesion, communication. Because when you're going in and out as a single player, constantly maybe shifting teams, trying to find a rhythm, even just having an extra week of competition with the same players can be so good for your gameplay.
Yeah, team chemistry going to be a major factor here in the Rumbles. Going to probably be one of the biggest factors in which teams are able to come out on top, which team is just able to perform together overall better. It's not going to come down to any one person's individual performance here in the Rumbles. But we're going to be heading into map number 1. Colosio, once again, going to be very different to New Queen Street. As I said earlier, that map has a lot of kind of hill high grounds with a valley that the cart moves between. Here, we're going to only have this bridge that the players have to slowly push the cart up, and once they're able to, there's no real high grounds to contest anymore, and that's going to take away a lot of advantages in team fights for the defending team once they're past that second checkpoint.
Now, the coaches want us to keep a lookout for Soup on the Eagles, shouting out this player as very impressive with the DPS play so far in the past couple of weeks with Esports Tower. So maybe a player to watch in tonight's match against the Wolves.
And interestingly enough, we're going to see Naiwo now on the DPS role as Echo Online brings the Orisa to the side of the Eagles. Wolves going to be running with a Zarya, and it's actually going to be Control this time. It's been a fan favorite, and Alakath, of course, going to be on that Sojourn. We're going to see if Soup is able to get the difference against them, or if we'll have a very normal performance from Alakath.
Oh, Blank barely staying alive over here. A lot of people in his face, but persevering and laying down the damage. Control and Alakath absolutely devastating the Eagles here. Echo Online, C-Squared, and Naiwo all falling earlier. Naiwo just respawned, and Soup and Secrets now following suit.
No.
This is an early lead for the Wolves.
Yeah, massive lead for the Wolves, actually. That's a big stagger onto the Lucio. Speed going to be completely gone for the Eagles. They do have the spawn advantage, but man, they're already the Wolves are already underneath this bridge, ready to start pushing up the high ground. We're going to see the Zarya just try and pressure out the Ana. C-Square going to be falling to German as the Baptiste pushes up along with the Zarya. Control going to find Secrets as the support line gone for the Eagles, and the Wolves are hunting right now.
Control doing just that, taking that high ground as early as possible to try and put the pressure on the Eagles, allowing the Wolves to make that big U-turn underneath the bridge. And it was such a great show of confidence in not only their own gameplay, but their team's gameplay to back it up. And now the Wolves continuing to push forward. Blank getting fairly low, but already 2 players down.
Naibo with the double pulse bomb, going to be able to find 2. Now looking at the Lucio, the solo contest on the point, going to be able to find 3. And that is absolutely massive for the Eagles as the Wolves are sent back to spawn.
And note, as you can see in the top middle, because they're not quite pushing the wall yet, getting that robot back to your wall moves much faster than once you're finally pushing the wall, so they're able to get back to neutral point as fast as possible. And now the slow trudge pushing the wall is going to take a lot longer than before, and they're going to be faced with 5 wolves with many ultimates ready to go.
Yeah, that nano going to be keeping everyone alive, as the Orisa was just going to eat all of the damage from not only the grab, but all the players trying to shoot inside of it. We're going to have Alakath ready with that overclock, but the Death Blossom comes out from Blank, and Control finding Soup. That could do it for the Wolves as Alakath finds a second pick. Toxic Kill able to take out Echo Online. C-Squared, the last player to fall from the Eagles here, and the Wolves back on the offense.
I love that play from Alakath backing up in that engagement, because Naiwo backed into a corner like a caged tiger and was ready to do whatever damage it took to take down Alakath. Alakath backing up, getting a little bit of help, a little bit of healing, and Naiwo eventually going down in that short engagement. But now the Wolves back on the aggression here, pushing up to the high ground, dealing the damage, pushing the Eagles back. Nobody on the robot, all 5 members opting to lay down the damage and try and take out as many Eagles as possible before they make this big push with the robot. One going down, Soup. Alakath now in trouble. Can he stay alive? No! That's going to be the Eagles finally gaining a modicum of an advantage.
And Naiwo able to find that pick early on the Alakath, but Control doesn't care as they find 2 of their own, including the trade on the Naiwo. Toxic Kill going to be able to take out Echo Online, and the Wolves are looking so strong as they have another Gravitron ready with that overclock as well. Full charge Zarya in the spawn of the Eagles is going to be very hard to deal with, especially with the amount of sustain they have now in Overwatch 2, so they can bubble themselves twice. We're going to have that grab ready, and there's going to be 3 people starting to stack up on the screen. You see it come out soon from the side of the Wolves. Overclock ready there for the combo as well. Secrets has the beat, though, and that could save the Eagles from this push.
Look at Control utilizing...
But not
this is
really,
huge.
as they get taken down early by Control. Control able to push... actually get pushed off by Echo Online, who got the nano. Secret still has that beat for the next fight after falling very early.
I was just about to say, Control doing a very good job utilizing the objective as a bit of cover, dodging in and out, trying to lay down whatever damage and stay safe. But now, eventually, finally, the Eagles with their spawn advantage are going to be able to push back against the Wolves. But the Wolves, such a huge lead just under 5 minutes ago. Eagles need to move.
And the Eagles will definitely be able to, as they have 3 ultimates, almost 4 online, as Naiwo's almost ready to another pulse bomb. Soup going to be popping that high noon here early in the fight. Not going to have any LOS, maybe on the Alakath, but Alakath just able to move so fast with that Sojourn shift. Just going to be able to move so quickly forward. We're going to see Naiwo once again trying to infiltrate the backline of the Wolves as the rest of the Eagles push forward. Soup's going to be able to find Blank. The eye field is taken away from the Wolves, and this team fight is starting to go in the way of the Eagles. Toxic Kill used the beat. Pulse Bomb going to be able to take out Control, and Naiwo finds 2.
That is the moment that the Eagles have been looking for. A breath of life in their gameplay here as they're running out of time. I mean, there's still 4 minutes left on the clock, but they only have 14 meters to their name here, and finally are going to start to get that, close the gap in that deficit that the Wolves have created so early on.
We're going to see Blank switch off of the Reaper onto the Genji now, and they have that Blade. I believe they switched in the last fight there. This Blade going to be massive as they dive immediately onto the backline. Toxic Kill going to find C-Squared so early. Secret's finally able to pop that beat, trying to keep their team alive. Unfortunately, Soup was not going to be in line of sight there. And now we're going to see Alakath, Blank, just try and continue to apply the pressure to the Eagles as the rest of the Wolves start to move forward on this objective.
That was well timed between those 2 ultimates, the beat and the Blade dropping. Blank took no time getting to the back line of the Eagles, pushing back that team, getting a couple of eliminations, and re-securing the objective and control and pace of this mid to late game, as they just need to cruise here now to a victory here on Coliseum. They don't need to play any more offense. They have a huge lead. But by playing offense, you deny the Eagles from playing their own, right? So this is a great play by the Wolves to continue being aggressive.
Another great play as Derman lays down that window. Overclock going to be ready, but not going to be used from Alakath here, deciding to save it for another time. Unfortunately, not going to have the team combo there for the ultimates. The Eagles coming up on a few of their own. Soup almost ready with that high noon, but going to be taken out of the fight as Naiwo finds the trade onto Durman, but Controlled is able to take out C squared, and that Ana and the Nano gone from the fight is not good for the side of the Eagles. Only going to have that Orisa ultimate ready for the next fight with that high noon. We'll see C squared decides to Nano once again, but Grav for the side of Control could be very deadly for the Wolves.
One thing I've been really impressed with by the Wolves so far, and I'll wait to say this point as this seems to be heating up. Naiwo falling, and 3 ultimates available for the Eagles, so this is about to get spicy.
Oh no, the solo Grav going out onto the Ana to just deny that Nano as soon as possible in the fight. We're going to see the Wolves just continue to apply the pressure now that that support is gone. Now Lucio's gone as well, and the Eagles are going to be feeling the lack of healing here as Echo is able to fall to Durman. Naiwo was able to find Alakath, and they're still alive in the backline looking to hunt down that Baptiste, but unfortunately they do have to retreat, and the Wolves are almost back to that wall.
I love the option, and this is the point that I was trying to make earlier, is the Wolves are prioritizing map control and not objective control, right? They're trying to make sure that any opportunity they have, they try and keep the Eagles down so that they can have free looks at that objective whenever they want.
Oh my gosh, we're going to see the blade come out from the side of the Wolves, but it will not be enough as Echo Online was able to find 2, one with the ultimate, one with the javelin, and the rest of the teams there to just clean up for the Eagles, who are really turned up the heat on the Wolves. Unfortunately, this has only been on the defensive side, not able to find the space as the Wolves just have such a fast return from the spawn. Secret's almost ready with another beat. Naiwo going to be using that pulse bomb, not going to be able to find the pick that they want with it. Echo denies that eye field early, and that's going to put the Wolves having to give space now. Echo going to be coming low, though, and falling to Alakath.
Soup already making big moves to another blade, though. 73% on the way, and that's going to be really, really big if they're going to want to be able to make this comeback. But 10 seconds left on the clock. Soup already down. Such a huge lead for the Wolves. This would need to be a massive overtime comeback, and I just don't see it happening unless the Eagles can make a bit of a comeback here. They're contesting. It's staying alive. It's not a down-and-out situation.
Yeah, and now they do have control of that point, but Naiwo going to just be contesting in the backline and falling to Alakath. The Eagles do use that beat to try and sustain as long as possible, but now that that's gone, Grav going to be used by Control, and they're just going to be able to take out that Lucio, hunting now down the Ana. Somebody's still alive on the point. It's going to be Echo, unfortunately not for very long, as the Wolves look so strong there. The Eagles not quite ready to spread their wings just yet. The Wolves, though, looking so good on that first push map.
Absolutely. I mean, what it came down to was the Wolves got that early pressure. They got that early lead. And as I was talking about it, they were able to prioritize map control and getting the kills over the objective control. And by doing that, they just automatically gained themselves that objective control. So really, really great job opening play from and smart play, honestly, by the Wolves here in game number 1. Eagles, they showed flashes of brilliance, right? I mean, there was that defensive play with the blade where they were able to get that full team kill, but unfortunately it was too little too late. They weren't able to secure that and then transition that into offense. And at that point, they were already 90 meters-ish behind the Wolves. So it was a bit tough for them, but they've got a second game here. They can pull it back, they can win back-to-back and go up against the Barracudas.
Now, once again, we'll have to see what happens in map number 2 as we are heading to another hybrid map. This time it's going to be Kings Row, a fan favorite from the competitive Overwatch scene. We'll have to see.
A Zan favorite.
A Zan favorite. I hate you. But yeah, we're going to see a Zan favorite, Kings Row, come out here, and that is going to be a hybrid map once again. They're going to have to contest on the point and then move the payload over. We're going to see a lot of great compositions come out. We'll hopefully see Widowmaker, who we did see Naiwo start off Colassio on. Unfortunately, Colassio not going to have the sight lines that Kings Row does. We'll see if Naiwo or whoever the DPS for the Eagles is decides to pick up that Widowmaker once again. Going to be such a strong character in Overwatch 2 is if you're able to get that early pick in the fight's basically over, especially if you pick a support. It just opens up so much space for your team. The other team is like, oh no, what do we do now? We lost all of these abilities. It just makes it so much harder. Overwatch 2 is such a much faster game than Overwatch 1, especially when you have characters like Widow who are able to just pop heads.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about the fact that it's 5 players versus 6 players. You get a pick, that's 20% of their team gone, as opposed to the prior 16.5%. Yeah,
I mean, man, it's been such...
That's just by the numbers. I mean, come on.
And if you like numbers, you can add to our social numbers by checking out at Esports Tower on social media. You can check them out at Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Go boost their follower count. Check out Esports Tower. Make sure to give them a follow. Make sure to like their tweets. And just support them overall. You can check them out at esportstower.com as well if you're interested in the Rumbles. And if you like what we have going on here at Shenandoah Esports, you can check us out at ShenU Esports on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And then for the YouTube and Twitch side of things, that's going to be at Shenandoah Esports. So YouTube and Twitch, once again, Shenandoah Esports, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, ShenU Esports. We're going to be heading into map number 2, Kings Row now, as the Eagles take on the Wolves. Both of these teams looking to secure their spot in the finals. The Wolves only needing 1 match. The Eagles looking to bounce back with 2 victories here. We'll see what happens in just a moment. The Wolves looking so strong on the first map, and actually we're going to see Eagles pick up Naiwo on that Roadhog once again. Unfortunately, on the last hybrid map, I think that this was such a, honestly, just not a great pick. We'll see if they decide to stick with it here. The Roadhog is going to have a lot of self-value, but I think that Zarya is just such a stronger character right now in the overall Overwatch meta. We'll see what Holy is able to do with it here. Alakath going to be on that Widowmaker for the Wolves on attacking side. We'll see if they're able to get that pick that I was talking about here.
Absolutely. We'll be keeping an eye out for that. Blank opting for a little bit more short range. And let's take a look at this early engagement as they're going back and forth here. Blank was losing a little bit of health there, but now Naiwo obviously has that self-heal, going to be just fine. Soup now off to the side, finding a little bit of friendly back and forth, but Derman and Toxic are going to fall there early for the Wolves, so that's a job well done by the Eagles.
Ooh, but Alakath able to find the pick onto Echo Online. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Soup putting the pressure on, taking out Alakath and Blank now. And that's not going to be good for the Wolves, who have to regroup now. Zarya trying to build as much charge as they can before re-entering the space that belongs to the Eagles.
I'm impressed with the resilience of the Eagles. Obviously, a tough loss that you just took in map number 1. And to win the first couple of engagements here on the second map, it's got to give you a lot of confidence moving forward, as I feel like there's only been 1 loss on the Eagles so far, and the Wolves have been held pretty strong so far.
And both DPS actually going to be trading those 1v1s, but Alakath was able to find the Kiriko. Kiriko, the newest character in Overwatch 2 on the support role, going to be doing 1, a lot of damage, and 2, a lot of healing. But Naiwo says, whatever, I'm going to take out the support line of the Wolves and completely trade back that pick. Now we're going to have Holy ready with the grab. Unfortunately, Blank and Alakath, unfortunately for the Eagles, I don't think they're going to be able to get a recontest here just because of that ultimate alone.
Yeah, and if the Eagles had stepped up, then there would likely be a little bit of a stagger in their respawns. And while I would have loved to see that 2v2 sort of response, trying to hold them off that initial point, I don't think it would have benefited them in the long run, and ultimately backing up and regrouping and allowing them to get that first point was the better call.
Yeah, especially as we saw Naiwo move into the backline and take out Toxic kill early. That's going to stop the Wolves from being able to take more space here once this payload is around the corner until that Lucio's back. Derman going to be able to take out Soup, though, and that's going to be a solid trade. Naibo once again going to be flanking, looking at Toxic, who just keeps trying to 1v1 the Roadhog. We'll see if they're able to get the victory on it this time. Unfortunately not. Toxic Kill going to have to stop taking those 1v1s against the Hog just to get back to the team there. Unfortunately, that's a lot of healing, a lot of speed going from the team. But Naibo just chilling in the backline is going to open up so much space for the Wolves to be able to just walk forward. Now Alakath going to be looking to 1v1 the Hog as well. Oh, teammates coming in, though, for the side of the Wolves. We're going to see a Grav Blade happen up in the front line, though, and Blank is going to be finding 3 with it. Oh my gosh, what a great ult combo. A real classic one there. The Wolves also going to pop that beat just to stay alive longer on the point. Naiwo trying to move back, but unfortunately just opening up so much space by trying to play more like an off tank than a main tank.
And that's just Blank going, all right, Naiwo, you can dawdle all you want near our backline. You can play around trying to pick Toxic Kill. You know what I'm going to go? I'm going to go for the other 4 people that have way less health than you. And that's exactly what happened. All 4 people fell while Naiwo was off in the wings.
And now we're going to see Derman ready with that window here for the side of the Wolves. And Naiwo still in the back line of the Wolves, just moving around back there. Unfortunately, not going to be getting any successful flanks as the Eagles are just grouping up on the point. I mean, as the Wolves are grouping up on the point, we're going to see Kiriko use their ultimate. That's going to allow all the cooldowns for the side of the Eagles to be much faster. Nano also going to be used from C² here. And Naiwo finally able to get back to their team as well as get a solid pick onto Derman. Could be a little late here as now we're approaching objective 3, but Naiwo finds a second one. Now that they're back with their team, I think they'll find a lot more success.
And it seemed like there for a moment that Naiwo was finding a little bit of a secret sauce, right? Being able to slow down a little bit of the Wolves' push. But because the tank wasn't with the main team, I looked away and there was so much ground taken up by the Wolves. They are already onto their second point and halfway to the third. Unbelievable job by the Wolves to stay resilient through the fact that they were getting kind of cheesed and chipped away by Naiwo, and then just take the space away from the rest of the team from the Eagles.
Yeah, Naiwo actually going to find their spot over on the left side here of point 3, where they're able to just get so many consistent picks now on the Wolves, just catching these players out with the hook early. It's going to force the Wolves to give a lot more time back to the Eagles here. So that Hog starting to come in use now that they're back with the team. Once again, we're going to have Blade to come up on the side of the Wolves as well as Grav. Once again, Alakath ready with that ultimate for themselves. Derman with the window. Naiwo going to have an ultimate, but it's going to be the only one for the side of the Eagles. And I don't think it's going to be enough as the Wolves push forward, using that Blade and that Grav once again to just get the team kill, or try to get the team kill here on to the Eagles. Unfortunately, there is going to be the stagger now for the side of the Eagles as Naiwo tries to recontest the point. They are going to have Kiriko with them now, though, and that's going to offer a lot of value. But Alakath takes out the support very early with their own overclock from the high ground. Also finding Soup and C². Derman takes out Secrets on the point. Nano Hog is going to be dangerous, but when you're looking at 5 players who are all looking at you, or 4 players who are all looking at you, it's going to be very tough. The Wolves able to have a great round number 1 here. We'll see if the Eagles respond similarly as we head into round number 2.
Alakath with that pinpoint precision late in the game, or late in the side. Oh boy, just tearing apart the Eagles from above. Absolutely fantastic job from Alakath there to close it out. They've got 3 points and 2 minutes and 1 second to their name. A tall order for the Eagles to gain back and go take this to extra innings. We'll see what sort of comp the Eagles want to go for to try and break through this first point. Obviously, this is one of the interesting points that they need to try to crack early if they can, so that they have maximum amount of time to push the rest of the map. So whatever composition they end up going for has to be one of those where you've got to make your quick decisions.
I like this. Now we're going to be picking the Wrecking Ball, and that's definitely going to offer a lot more opportunities for the Eagles, especially for Naibo, who's just going to have more mobility. So if they want to kind of troll around in the backline a little bit, just be like, hey, I'm back here. You have to look at me. Otherwise, I will pick you.
Something I love about Naiwo that I'm learning is sort of getting a feel for how this player is as a tank. Loves to play disruption. Right? Loves to get in there, try to get a pick, try to just confuse the enemy team. Really loving the looks that we've gotten from Naiwo so far to try and give a little bit of freedom for the rest of the team as Soup's going to be looking to do as much damage as possible. Blank forced to back up.
And the Eagles starting to move quite quickly here towards the point as that Wrecking Ball is going to be up on the high ground already. Alakath is able to take out the Zen, and that is massive for the Wolves on the defense right now. I feel going to be used from them as well. A big ante, though, going on the lines of the DPS. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Alakath is able to take out Naiwo here, and the Wolves just looking so strong as they maintain position here on the height.
Getting in it.
Unfortunately, Naiwo was not able to get the picks that they needed early on there, as the rest of the Wolves were able to just push forward as a team onto the high ground.
Soup, Naiwo looking quite low. Naiwo in danger, going to be falling. Eagles now once again at a disadvantage as the Wolves remain tall here. Toxic Kill going to be traded out by Secrets though. So a little bit of life for the Eagles, but still no real progress on the point to speak of. This is going to come down to a big team fight that they're going to need to just take out as many Wolves as possible, push them off the point. But unfortunately, they keep giving away these lives.
But I think the Eagles are really looking to just build ultimates here and have one solid fight on the point. If that's all they need to add some more time here. We're also going to see mines ready for Naiwo if they're able to control the space well enough. There it is, going directly onto the point, and a big slam onto three of the players, able to take out both of the support line. A massive play from Naiwo looking for a third pick. Now going to be able to find it. Let's see if the rest of the Wolves are going to contest this or not. Naiwo making a massive play for the Eagles, and it's not stopping yet as they're trying to take out the Soldier. Now going to be successful, and now it's just the Sigma, and Naiwo with the ace. Oh my gosh, able to take out all 5 players with a little help in the end, but man, Naiwo with a massive ball play with that ultimate.
It was a stellar opening with the mines and the slam, and then continuing with the trap there in that underneath the statue, and then continuing to push through, knowing that there's only 2 players. One of them is really weak, goes for that weak player way back, using that quick mobility, and then eventually swarming with the rest of the team to take out the 5th member. Fantastic play from Naiwo. They are able to take point number 1.
Yeah, and that really opened things up for the Eagle. Going to build a lot of momentum now. Naiwo almost already after that team kill, by the way, that they had by themselves to their next ultimate. I just want to say, and C-Squared's almost ready with a Nano. So we're going to possibly see Nano Naiwo on the next fight, and that's just going to be monstrous. Blank able to find the Zen early, though, with the Dragon's Lift as well, ready for the side of the Wolves. They also have that Valkyrie, which is going to offer a lot more healing and mobility for that Mercy to stay alive if Naiwo does indeed make the play once again with the ball. Going to be getting so much damage in line with Soup there, taking out the supports and Blank once again. Secrets finding Holy, and now Secrets taking out Alakath, and the Eagles definitely feeling good on this offensive push.
Player of the game so far for me has been Naiwo, being able to open up these team fights early, and then, I mean, you even saw Toxic Kill look up, see, oh no, there's mines, try to run away, try to escape, inevitably going to fall, and then Holy backing away from the rest of the engagement, runs into another mine, and that was one of the things that helped secure the full team wipe. The Eagles are now still looking, they've got tons of ultimates to their name, but I don't know if this team fight is the time to use them. Soup dropping that one, but also dropping low themselves.
Yeah, and the Wolves just not going to find the opportunity to use their own ultimates here in these team fights yet. Not going to have a good lineup on anybody. Echo online, going to have to be walking back from spawn though, and that's big for the Wolves, who are able to apply pressure onto Secrets and C-Squared there. From the side of the Eagles. German able to take out Naiwo, and now the Wolves have a solid point here to defend from this corner. We'll see what happens though, as Naiwo is almost back to those mines once again.
Wow, and you know what happens when we're looking out for that. Look out, Wolves. But Wolves, 3 ultimates to their name as well. 1 minute and 52 seconds left on the clock to just get to this point number 2. That'll add some time onto the clock, give a little breathing room for the Eagles, so they have enough time here to try and make an extended push and maybe push this 2 extra innings. As I said before, now just 1 minute and 35. Eagles need to make moves.
Yeah, and the Wolves are looking to line up ultimates to stop whatever moves are made, but Naiwo able to take out Toxic Kill, but the tire coming out from Blank, and that's a Blank play right there, just with the tire, building it, winning the team fight by taking out 3 early. Holy able to find Soup, and man, what a great response from the Wolves. Unfortunately, they burned 4 ultimates in that team fight.
Where's Naiwo?
Naiwo's ready with the mines in the spawn of the Wolves, and we're going to see if they're able to find an early pick here or not to try and stagger somebody, but once again, now they're in the back line of the Wolves, and the Wolves are turning around to find this tank. This could be a not-so-good play here as Naiwo falls very low HP. The Eagles going to have to come back as a team here, and Naiwo going to have to find the right time to re-enter into this fight from behind.
Honestly, felt a little bit trapped there. Naiwo not really having very many options, but honestly, you know, besides just standing right there on the final point, not a bad play to draw the attention of the Wolves away and try to get them. Oh, that's good. Nice play, but nobody really getting knocked by any of those mines. Not a lot of damage going down from the previous plays that we saw from Naiwo.
Yeah, really, I think those mines were effective at taking the space, though, but not effective enough as the Wolves were able to apply the damage onto C-Squared and Secrets once again. And now the rest of the Eagles are going to have to regroup or have a miracle play happen here, and it's not going to, as Holy is able to take out Soup. Echo Online going to fall, and that's going to reset the Eagles once again, who have a long track from spawn, and I didn't even realize we were in the last 10 seconds of the game. Man, a great second map going to the Wolves once again, but the Eagles definitely having some great plays. Naiwo with that ball ace, taking out 5 players themselves, just absolutely amazing to watch.
I mean, I feel like we were saying Naiwo's name constantly throughout that game. Yeah. And for better or for worse, it was kind of like Naiwo was that X factor. Like, it was either Naiwo was making the play that set up everything for the Eagles, right? Or Naiwo was off in the Wolves spawn, and we're not really sure what's going on. So it's just like you either get, you know, one of the best tank plays of the entire map, or you get Naiwo that's going off Cavalier on their own, just doing some sightseeing where they want the point to be, but they still need to do the work to get that objective there. So that was an entertaining match, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, the switch on to Wrecking Ball from Naiwo was a great choice, though, compared to the Hog. We saw the Hog just not have mobility. They wanted to be in that back line, finding the picks onto the supports like Naiwo was able to once they were on Hammond, but Hog just doesn't have the same mobility that the Wrecking Ball does, and we were able to see them stay alive back behind the team. The entirety of the Wolves went back to pressure out Naiwo from their spawn, but then they went back to point, and Naiwo was able to come back in with their ultimate once again. Unfortunately, the placement just not going to be perfect to get the most value there. Was able to open up some space, but the team just not quite ready for the push on the side of the Eagles. What a great game, though, here tonight, and the Wolves just looking so strong, as I believe they are now heading into grand finals and taking on the Barracudas. We unfortunately are going to be saying goodbye to the Eagles for the evening, but man, they definitely had a great performance there in the last map on Kings Row, and I'm really excited to hopefully see these players either on new teams or on the same team in the future and just continue to grow and develop, because man, what a great match that was.
Absolutely. And you know, the great thing about Esports Tower is they go into these losses and they try to dissect and figure out what they could have done wrong. They go do some VOD review. These players are going to be watching this map, these matches to, you know, move their games forward so that they can come back even stronger in following weeks. So don't think that just these esports rumbles, these competitions, are all that Esports Tower has to offer these kids that are trying to get to the next level, get those scholarships in college. There's lots of offerings from this great organization that we get to cast for.
Yeah, and speaking of Esports Tower, you should definitely check them out at Esports Tower on all social medias. That's going to be at Esports Tower on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Once again, if they have a TikTok, go check it out as well. at Esports Tower and esportstower.com. If you are liking Shenandoah Esports, you should check us out at Shen U Esports on all social media platforms except YouTube and Twitch. So that's going to be Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, others. And at Shen U Esports. And then for the YouTube and Twitch side of things, that's going to be at Shenandoah Esports. Make sure to give a like, subscribe, follow over on the YouTube channel, follow the Twitch, and of course, follow Esports Tower. Thank you so much to Esports Tower for putting on such a great competition as we get ready to head into grand finals of another Overwatch 2 Rumble. Thank you so much for watching so far. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
You want to rank up in Overwatch or Valorant? Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. We'll match you with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
Welcome once again to the Esports Tower Rumble in Overwatch 2 one-shot tournament tonight. We are back live from the Shenandoah Esports Arena, and we are now heading into grand finals as the Wolves are getting ready to take on the Barracudas. I am Josh Cunningham. This is Xander Merrill-Smith. Xander, how are you doing tonight, and how are you feeling about this grand finals lineup?
I like the emphasis you're putting on that statement as you're going through your intro.
Thank you.
The Barracudas. I am Josh Cunningham. Well, I'm Xander, and I'm great. This has been a great night for Overwatch, and we're jumping into the grand finals. As you said, it's the Barracudas versus the Wolves. Both teams looked very strong against the Eagles. Unfortunately for the Eagles, they are now out of this evening, as you said before. But now we get to watch the two teams that won against the Eagles and made it to the grand finals, both looking very strong so far, both with players that really had standout performances throughout the first two matches that we got to see tonight. And this should be a great grand final.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited as we get ready for map number 1. It's going to be Control, and it's going to be on Busan. Control going to be a very, very great game mode, I think, to start this off. Then we'll be heading into Escort Hybrid. Push later on, that's going to be map number 4. We've seen Push as the starting map twice now, but we're going to be heading into Control first. And man, I cannot wait to see these teams perform. They both had great performances earlier on. The Eagles did have a great time. Unfortunately, both of these teams were just able to have a better game overall this evening. We'll see how they compare against one another as we get ready for map number 1 here in just a few minutes. But man, these teams have been so good tonight.
Yeah, and it sounds like the Barracudas obviously had a very strong showing against the Eagles. And they got actually, were able to scout out the Wolves as they played the Eagles, knowing what the play style of the Eagles looked like and how they might be able to take advantage of some of the plays that the Wolves were making throughout that last match. So, watching a little bit of that VOD live and getting to see a little bit of what they might be able to take advantage of, as I said. And Triplet from the Barracudas looking very, very strong so far. Coaches have been
Definitely
really impressed.
Standout support here in this Overwatch Rumble, doing such a great job with the eye field and the window timing as well, winning so many team fights with the
Absolutely. Yeah, and so the coaches are saying definitely look out for this player to take charge in this grand finals against the Wolves.
All right, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but not for too long as we're getting ready to head into map number 1. Busan as the Wolves take on the Barracudas to start off. Grand final. It's going to be a best of 5 here. We'll see which team comes out on top. Control going to be the tank for the Wolves. Blank and Alakath on the DPS line. Derman and Toxic Kill for the support on the side of the Barracudas. We got Lukey on the tank. Shy, Pengy, and Sweatpants. Sweatpants actually going to be on that DPS role now. King Swiffer and Triplet for the supports. We've seen King Swiffer and Sweatpants previously have great tank play for the Barracudas tonight. We'll see if Lukey is able to keep that performance up for the team. Control also on that Zarya going to be a very, very strong choice for the tank of the Wolves. Let's see what happens here as we open things up as Genji immediately dives onto the Baptiste, able to take out Derman early, and Sweatpants is not giving any time to the Wolves. The Barracudas looking to start off very, very quickly. Control falling, and Lukey able to take out Alakath.
Yeah, and wow, back and forth already, but Barracudas coming out on top early. I really hope that we get to see Blank on that Junkrat again. The Riptire, getting that triple kill in the last game. Boy, what a spectacle, and it's always so exciting to see that. So hopefully we get to see a little bit of that from Blank at some point again tonight. But early advantage going over to the Barracudas as they gain control of the point. And we're talking about how Push was a back and forth, always offense, always defense, trying to figure out that ebb and flow. Control, another great opportunity to see how these teams are able to balance both aspects of that game.
Yeah, Blank going to be now responding by finding the pick onto Shy Pengy. That could open things up for the Wolves here. Triplet going to be responding with a trade onto Derman. That's a support traded for a DPS here. That's going to leave the Wolves in a bad position here as Blank now falls low HP. We're going to see the window come out from Triplet here. Lukey trying to find the pick on the Toxic Kill. They're going to be successful, but get traded themselves by Control. But in Triplet there, just to find 2 more with that window. Genji Blade ready for Sweatpants, who's now in the spawn of the Wolves going to be moving back, giving a little bit more space as they now have to wait for their own tank to walk back.
And look at that. Look at how the Barracudas are creating that space, right? They're not necessarily just staying on the point. They're pushing back forward or back into the Wolves' spawn, and it's making it really, really tough for the Wolves to be able to get any sort of aggression onto the actual point and try and flip it. So now 65% in favor of the Barracudas, and huge kills coming across everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Alakath was able to take out Triplet with the help of Blank, but Sweatpants just went in with the blade onto the back line of the Wolves and took out all 5 players themselves. In the end, there was a lot of help from the team there. Not quite the Naiwo ace that we saw earlier, but still a great play from Sweatpants. Just the BAP gets pressured. Triplet going to have to deal with that themselves, have the eye field to sustain, keep the DPS out of the fight. And Sweatpants just had all the opportunity to move forward. A massive wall coming out from Shy Pengy to take out Blank right there. And the grab from the side of the Wolves going to be stopped by the beat from the side of the Barracudas. Going to be popping Blizzard now to respond to that window, forcing the players away. Not going to be able to get the touch on the objective. The Barracudas taking it 100% straight away. What a very fast way to open things up. And the Barracudas just having a massive game so far. We'll see what the Wolves do to respond.
If you're just joining us, or maybe you just forgot, I want to remind everybody, Sweatpants, dominant player, 8th grade. 8th grade, young player coming in and playing with these high schoolers and getting a chance to shine and absolutely dominating. So far, Wolves really looking a little bit shocked with the way the Barracudas have controlled that first point, and Sweatpants had every bit to do with that.
Absolutely a very dominant player for the side of the Barracudas, and them and Triplet so far have just been an unstoppable force. Shy Pengy getting a few massive walls with that. May going to just really open up the fights there. Now we're going to see Blank hop over to the Sombra here. This is going to be a devastating pick if used properly here. We're going to see Control immediately open things up with a pick onto King Swiffer, but Sweatpants once again taking out the back line of the Wolves, and it's going to be hard for them to respond, but they do by taking Triplet and Sweatpants out of the game, sending them back to spawn now. But it's going to be really tough to see who's able to come out on top. Sombra going to be looking to contest the point early here, as Alakath did find the pick on Deluki with the Tracer, going to be moving over to that point themselves. And Sweatpants challenging the Winston here, getting the pick. Oh my gosh, Sweatpants just so aggressive with the Genji and so confident too. And they have earned that confidence that they're able to just find so many picks.
But it's measured aggression, right? It's picking the time that you need to strike. And now Sweatpants able to stay alive, even though in it to win it, consistently attacking and having that confidence that the team will back him up at every moment. King Swiffer, Triplet, both freshmen. Shy Pengy, Luki, juniors in high school. So they are generally a very young squad, and the fact they're able to contend with these Wolves, and not only contend with, but obviously they've won the first point, doing a very good job. Barracudas, I am very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. The Barracuda's just so dominant right now. We'll see if the Wolves are able to get to the point once they have their ultimates here. Alakath ready with that pulse bomb. Going to be trying to find an early pick. Control and Blank coming up on some ultimates themselves. Durman almost ready with that nano, and once Control gets that nano, you know they're going to be jumping in to the backline of the Barracudas, but Sweatpants could easily respond with a blade of their own. We'll have to wait and see once all these ultimates stack up. An anti going out from the side of the Wolves. Oh, and now they're going to be running forward onto the backline. Genji Blade, though, coming out, and what a great target focus immediately onto the backline from Sweatpants, able to take out Control and Durman. Unfortunately, didn't find the pick onto Toxic Kill, but knew exactly where they needed to be and was able to find the picks early.
Yeah, Toxic able to eventually get that trade out, but not before four Wolves had fallen, and the advantage going strongly over to the Barracudas in that team fight. Great play from Sweatpants once again, and the support of the rest of the Barracudas.
Oh, just a massive game for Sweatpants here so far. They've definitely just been really opening up these team fights for the side of the Barracudas. The rest of the team doing a great job as well, but Sweatpants is definitely the player that is making the plays this game. Blank going to be using that EMP. Unfortunately, I don't think we were able to find anybody with it.
And now, once again, 2 players from the Wolves down. You look away, and the Barracudas once again pushing through. They're at 99, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Barracudas taking game number 1.
That was quick. Sweatpants on the Genji is a menace. Like, oh my gosh. That backline was just getting farmed.
Yeah.
Like, Sweatpants just knew exactly where they were and knew exactly what he needed to do. Just an absolutely insane player for the side of the Barracudas. We'll see if the Wolves are able to put a stop to the plays that he's making.
Yeah, I mean, the Wolves have shown consistently that they have that team cohesion and communication that netted them this spot in the grand finals here tonight in tonight's Rumble. But really, they were outshone by all the Barracudas. I mean, when they picked the moment that they wanted to strike, the pace of the game was dictated by the Barracudas just about every step of the way there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a great ability use, great ultimate use, and just overall great team play from the Barracudas. The Wolves are definitely going to have to figure some things out if they want to find success here in the grand finals as we head to Escort Circuit Royale next. Man, this map is going to be a great one, I feel, for both teams here. It's just going to offer a lot of space, a lot of great sight lines for these DPS players to pick snipers. We'll see what happens. This is just going to be really, really great gameplay here on Circuit Royale. Reminds me a lot of Dorado, and I think it's just a great escort map overall. I'm really excited to get into it, but before that, I quickly want to get another shout out to our friends over at Esports Tower. You can check them out at Esports Tower on
esportstower.com.
On esportstower.com and Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at
that's what you're going for.
Esports Tower. You're good. And then if you like Shenandoah, you can check us out at Shen-Yu Esports and Shenandoah Esports, Shen-Yu Esports for Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And for the Shenandoah Esports side of things, that's going to be for our YouTube and Twitch. So make sure to check all those social medias out, especially our friends over at Esports Tower. Thank you so much to them for putting on such an amazing event. We're getting ready to head into map number 2. The Barracudas looking so strong in the grand final so far. We'll have to see how the Wolves respond as we are now on Escort.
And here we go. Will the cohesion I talked about before pay off for the Wolves? I mean, this team showed so much how familiar they were with each other. Are they able to continue this against the Barracudas? Maybe take map number 2.
We're going to see Sweatpants now on the Widowmaker, and as I explained earlier, there's going to be such a strong pick here in Overwatch 2 if they're able to find the early pick, which they have been doing such an amazing job of on other characters. If they're able to keep that consistency here, I don't know how the Wolves are going to be able to push through this unless Blank has a similar performance on the Hanzo, or Alakath just pops on Sojourn. We'll have to wait and see now as the Wolves walk out of spawn. We're going to see Lukey on the Reinhardt now. Shy Pengy getting picked early to Alakath, and that's going to be big for the Wolves. We're now moving towards this first corner. Sweatpants not going to be able to find the headshot onto the Sojourn. And interestingly enough, going to be taken out by Blank. Now that's going to force the Barracudas back. And ooh, Lukey going to be taken down. That's not good. The tank gone. The Wolves are just going to be able to apply so much pressure, and Alakath having a massive game on Sojourn right now.
I don't love the switch over to Widow, especially I feel like Sweatpants was still utilizing the spacing that he was used to on Genji, right?
Absolutely.
Like, way too close for the sniper that is Widow, and just pretty much in their faces, and ultimately that's never going to be a good mixture for a sniper. So now back on the comfortable Genji here now, and hopefully we can see a little bit of sword action a little bit later on once that builds up to full strength. But the Wolves here with some early space, and they're almost all ready to point number 1.
Yeah, I mean, a great opening from the Wolves. It's exactly what they needed, and so was that pick on the Triplet. Sweatpants was able to get the trade on the Blank, but the support pick is going to be so massive. Ooh, and Triplet will actually get the revive from King Swiffer, but not before Holy takes out Sweatpants. Toxic Kill going to be responding with a res of their own. And these Mercies are really going to, I think, slow down the pace of this game as they just continue to res these players. Shy Pengy falling to Blank now, who just got that res. Derman almost ready with the window, though. See what happens as Triplet falls as they're coming up on their own. Alakath using the overclock to take out King Swiffer. That's going to open things up after Blank was able to find the support themselves. Lukey falling as well. Now the Wolves are up on the height. They have ultimates at the ready, and they are looking to maintain this space as that cart continues to move forward.
Absolutely. Already on point number 1. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to work with here before their time elapses, and things are looking good for the Wolves early in map number 2. As you said, they're trying to create that space up on the high ground, pushing up the hill, never an easy feat. But now we've got Sweatpants pushing in, no ultimate to speak of, and going to fall, and the rest of the team, Triplet and Lukey, going to follow suit. Now the Wolves have the advantage. They're going to be pushing forward, trying to clean up the rest of these scraps and try and set a little bit of offset into these respawns, and that's going to be huge for the Wolves as they're going to get a lot of this second point distance.
Yeah, I mean, what a great Dragons from Blank there, putting it directly onto Triplet's window, denying any use from the Baptiste ultimate there. We're going to see Lift come out from Lukey here. This is going to be big. They're going to find a lot of players. I don't know if the damage is going to be there from the rest of their team, though, to find picks immediately. Shy Pengi is there to find Derman after the I-field goes down, but Alakaz responds with a pick onto Kingsurfer themselves. Sweatpants decides to pop the blade, finds Blank, looking for some more. Not going to be able to find them, though, here in this fight. Going to have to go resort to regular abilities as the Wolves get pushed off of the height finally here, and that push is definitely stopped. We're going to have to see a reset from the side of the Wolves as the Barracudas looked really strong on that recontest, but unfortunately they're only going to have one ultimate now to their name until Triplet finds that window.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case for both teams, though. But as the Wolves start to loop back around, regain full strength, it seems like the Barracudas are respecting the strength of the Wolves here in map number 2, as they're deciding to back up just a little bit, trying to pick that moment, right? I was talking about game number 1 where they were dictating the pace of the game, they were dictating the engagements. It looks like they're trying to do the exact same thing here, just not quite to the same successes they found before, but now we've got Sweatpants falling, we've got Derman falling, one for each team. Triplet now, Barracudas at a disadvantage at the loss here. Wolves gonna push up, and that pack will swarm.
Yeah, Alakath with the overclock, just going to be such a menace as they are finding all of the picks with these right clicks here. Derman able to take out Kingsurfer as well. That's going to give the checkpoint over to the Wolves, who are looking really strong here on Circuit Royale. This could be their map to bounce back in the grand finals here. It's map number 2, so they have a lot of time. Even if it isn't, they still have another map to go through. But I mean, the Barracuda is just not able to deal with the pressure of the Wolves right now. The Blank's able to take out Shy Pengi early on in the fight once again. Sweatpants just not able to find the angles that we have seen them previously with the Genji.
Yeah, absolutely. And you may be thinking maybe it's a little bit of overconfidence from the success you found in game number 1, and that could be very well the case. And maybe that's just a indicator of, you know, just being one of the younger players on the team, trying to use the momentum you found in game number 1, but not knowing necessarily to steady your hand and not know when to not attack. But Triplet, Shy Pangy, Sweatpants, this is huge for the Barracudas as they're starting to mount some sort of defense here late in the game, but still 2.5 minutes on the clock for the Wolves to push through, and this is very close to getting that 3rd point.
Yeah, Sweatpants popping that blade once again, was able to find one. Unfortunately, that Sigma was going to be the second target, who's just such a large health pool and supports with them to keep them alive. Now we're going to see the Wolves bounce back in after Triplet got picked. Lukey going to be denied by a hack as well from making very many plays here. Shy Pengi did get a successful pulse bomb onto the I field, unfortunately, but Sweatpants was able to take out the player who was standing under it. Alakath responded with a great pick. Shy Pengi able to take out Toxic Kills. It's just so back and forth right now. We're going to have to see which team is able to reset and fully regroup here. It's probably going to be the Barracudas as they have the spawn advantage at the moment. Alakath ready with another overclock though, and Derman has a window as well as Holy with the lift. So if Holy gets a lift here and Alakath starts clicking on heads, this is going to be massive for the Wolves' final push.
And this is so crazy late. Oh my goodness, here we go. Sweatpants trying to make moves. Gonna make some great blocks there. Kingswiffer falling. Alakath also gonna be going down. This is intense here late in the game. They're trying to make this stop and hold them off the 3rd point.
Yeah, Sweatpants finding the opening pick early. Unfortunately, was not able to take out the BAP as well. If they were, it would have been such a massive opening there. Luki was able to use the lift to take out Holy. Triplet respond by taking out 2 players. Both the supports from the Wolves are gone. It's going to be Alakath left with 24 HP to try and get back to their team. Unfortunately, Shy Pengy will find a successful staggered push, leaving 1 minute left for the Wolves to recontest this third point. And this third point is such a pain to push into as the defenders spawn are just so quick.
Yeah, deep into this Circuit Royale map. It'd be it behooved the Barracudas to utilize all the space and height that you have in this final area, and it seems like they're doing just that. They found this spot that they can really sink their teeth into and dig in, and the Wolves haven't quite been able to breach this final spot that the Barracudas have really found their rhythm in. 27 seconds left on the clock.
Always have Blade. Always has his Blade. Got hacked, unfortunately was not able to use it, but Sweatpants always has his Blade, man. Alakath able to find the pick onto Triplet. We're going to see Sweatpants get hacked once again. Now, once the opportunity for that Blade comes, though, we'll definitely see them use it. Blank no longer has that EMP, but they are able to find Shy Pengy. Hack successful on to Sweatpants, going to deny that Blade. And Sweatpants was able to find 1 pick onto Derman, and that could be exactly what the Barracudas need. But the Wolves, so far, getting the better of the trades here as Derman was res. Toxic Kill able to pop that Valk ultimate too. Alakath finding King Swiffer, and that I think is going to do it unless the Barracudas have a really good recontest from their spawn. And it's definitely possible as once again they are able to get back so quickly here.
Oh, and they might have just done it. That's going to be the team kill. And ladies and gentlemen, the Barracudas hold the Wolves to just 2 points. They were knocking on the door of that third one, and it's not going to be enough. What a performance there late in the round for the Barracudas. Now they have the benchmark that they need to hit in order to get to that get the second win, right? They don't need to get all the way to that third point. They just need to get an inch past to the Wolves.
Yeah, and really an inch is all it is going to come down here to, unless the Wolves are able to have a much more successful early defense for that first checkpoint. We saw that they were able to just absolutely steamroll through the Barracuda's front line at first, and they struggled a little bit on the second checkpoint, but they were able to get through it quite quickly, and that third checkpoint definitely is what caused the stop for the Wolves. We'll see if the Barracudas, though, get stopped here on the first checkpoint. We saw them not quite get the setup that they would have liked on the last time that they were on the defense, so we'll have to wait and see what happens here as we head into round number 2.
25 seconds until the teams clash. The Barracudas will be tested on offense. Will they be able to push past the 82.66 meter mark, or will the Wolves hold strong?
And we are seeing some great picks from both teams as the Ashe is going to be damage boosted by the Mercy on both sides. Shy Pengy will be on the Pharaoh. I expect them to switch as soon as they realize Alakath is mirroring what Sweatpants and King Swiffer are doing. We'll have to see which of these duos is able to get more value as Shy Pengy jumps in to the backline. Actually, they're going to be going for the Pharmacy against the Ashe Mercy combo. And Ashe Mercy just going to be able to find so many headshots so easily with that damage boost. We'll see what happens here. Damage is coming out from the Pharah. Not really going to have anyone looking at them just yet. Actually, I lied. Alakath getting the pick.
I do love that maneuver, though, utilizing that height and the space to try and crack the defense from a different angle, drawing the attention of the Wolves into the sky and down away from that corner. So far, not quite. Actually, it might have done the trick as they're continuing to push through. A couple Wolves falling, and the health bars are dropping. Barracuda's first engagement is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, and King Swiffer with a massive res on the Shy Pengy there to really open this up, as well as Sweatpants finding these picks onto the backline. The stagger onto Holy coming out of the DPS line here from the Barracudas, and now they're already up on the height, and Shy Pengy has a Justice ready for whoever they see next.
Oh,
Alakath,
no.
though, going to be finding the head very easily, and onto King Swiffer. Like I said, that Mercy Ashe combo is so deadly, as like half the roster in the game is now one-shotable.
Oh my goodness. I'll say that was a very nice response out of Alakath there in order to stop that space being created, right?
I'm not quite sure what happened to Luki there. I think they might have had a little bit of HP get taken out by their own splash damage, unfortunately. But that is going to open things up for the Wolves now as they're recontesting on the point. Shy Pengy still holding on to this Justice. I think they're potentially waiting for King Swift to be ready with that Valkyrie ultimate as we approach the last 6% charge that they need here. Lukey also going to be coming up on Lift. A lot of ultimates actually stacking for both sides, so it could be a Q fest here in just a second. We'll have to wait and see as Lift comes online for Holy. Alakath able to take out King Swift for Shy Pengy falling to blank, and now that the Wolves are on this hit scan, that Pharah is not going to be able to find the value that they need. Wolves going to have ultimates. They don't need to use them, though, to win this fight.
And there you go. That's going to be the swap over to... It was Soldier for a sec, now Hanzo. That's a smart move, right? How long do you try and force that Pharah, trying to fly around and get picked out of the sky with the hit scan? I think it's a smart switch and try and switch up your game plan as Shy Pengy had a little bit of success early, but recognizing that was no more. And now Triplet, Blank taking down Triplet, and that's going to be Derman falling. Blank narrowly staying alive. How is he doing it? Unbelievable, but the Barracudas eventually going to be finding a little bit of pick, and there is going to be the push.
Yeah, that sixth player with the Bob is just going to offer so many opportunities for the Barracudas to create more space. They effectively work as a tank, which allows just so much more opportunities for the team to move around, but Alakath going to have a Bob of their own for the recontest, so we'll see which team is really able to get more success out of this Ashe character. I think so far it's definitely been Alakath, but I think a lot of that success has been due to Shy Pengy's pick on the Pharah. But ooh, Alakath going to get the trade onto Sweatpants and take out King Swiffer once again with that damage boost from the Mercy and on the pick onto Lukey. Such a deadly combo, that Ashe Mercy. Oh my gosh. The Wolves looking so strong that they're not using their ultimates to win these fights.
And that is impressive all in itself. Every time you feel like the Barracudas gain an inch, the Wolves just take a mile right back. And I feel like it was several minutes ago, they were on top of this particular point, pushing through, creating space against the Wolves. And now it seems like they haven't been able to have a team fight anywhere but this particular curve down at the bottom. And it's probably starting to eat away at the Barracudas a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Holy going to be using the lift now to try and find one. Going to be successful onto the tank, but Mercy immediately going to be dumping as much heals as they can to keep Lukey alive. Lukey going to sustain. They are almost 80% to their own ultimate now. The Wolves still have 3 to their name, so this fight is not going anywhere as Alakath is able to find the opening pick onto Shy Pengy. Derman taking out Triplet. Blank finding the trade onto Sweatpants, and now we're really seeing the Wolves warm up and have a great match as Alakath just continues to find all of these picks with the damage boost.
That almost felt a little bit forced, right, from the Barracudas. I mean, obviously, trying to retake a little bit of high ground is going to give you some more of an advantage. And I liked the idea of Barracudas trying to push through to gain a little bit of that. But look at this angle that we've got Alakath pushing and firing through. There's almost nothing that the Barracudas can respond with for DPS unless they get around to this little U-turn right here.
Alakath actually going to use that Bob as well now to find 2. Like I said, it's just a 6th player, and if the other team is not able to deny them early enough, they're just going to be doing so much for the team. That Bob just finding so much value as the Wolves are now put the Barracudas down to 1 minute here. They're just past checkpoint 1, and this is looking really good for the Wolves so far. We'll have to wait and see in the next 40 seconds if the Barracudas find great success with the ultimates. Lift going to come out from Lukey here shortly. I do believe immediately going to get stunned by the rock, though, completely denying it. Sweatpants ready with the blade, though, going to be able to take out the eye field and toxic kills. But Blank responds with a blade of their own, taking out the Baptiste and the Mercy, going to get slightly more value, but Sweatpants still with the trade onto Derman, and now the supports are completely gone from both sides. Shy Pengy and Sweatpants are there, though, for the side of Barracudas to secure the fight.
just when you think the Barracudas are out of this, they find a way to win a team fight just like that, and they are going to be able to continue this at overtime. They have to play perfect to get that extra time on the clock, but by creating the space, by pushing that entire team back, they may very well just get this quite easily unless a contest comes through. And you know, of course, the Wolves are going to try and prevent that at all costs.
Holy going to be successful by stopping Sweatpants early, Window and Valk. The Wolves dumping all the ultimates they have into this fight. The Barracuda's not going to have any unless Shy Pengi is able to turn things with an overclock, but they have to build that last 6% first. We're in overtime. It's tense on the point. Moira going to be fading around. Overclock is online now for Shy Pengi, who's trying to push forward, is able to take 2 out. King Swiffer finds the pick on a Holy Chop, and the Barracudas continue the match by securing the second objective. So close. Now 1 minute and 20 seconds to push, like you said earlier, just an inch past where the Wolves got, and the Barracudas are already taking the space.
But we only have 1 minute and 15 added back on, and as you said earlier in this map, this is the hardest part of the map for the offense. The respawns from the defense so close to all of the engagements. The Barracudas really need to find their stride here late if they want to be able to push through. They are already almost halfway through to that point where they need to get to. They don't need to get all the way. They, like we said, just need to get just past the Wolves. And this is looking pretty good so far for the Barracudas, with Sweatpants falling early already.
Yeah, I mean, Blank just winning out the 1v1, but I don't think that matters as King Swiffer gets the double pick with the Orb and Lukey with the Rock, able to take out Holy. This could be it for the Barracudas, who just had a very massive opener, as well as the Beat and Coalescence coming out from the support line of the Barracudas. There's going to be so much healing on that side of the Barracudas. The Wolves not going to be able to respond to this unless they just continue to recontest the point until somehow they manage to regroup as a team. Blank going to be falling here. 1 player left on the point. It's going to be the Wrecking Ball. Holy trying to make something happen. Sweatpants popping the blade to try and stop the Mercy, who's flying in the air. Unfortunately, not going to have the dash to get to them. But man, it's back and forth now. We're in overtime. This is still very winnable for the Barracudas. They just have to keep winning the team fight, and they do! So far, it's going to be Holy still alive on the point somehow, back up to almost 1,000 HP. But and dropping mines on the point, that could be exactly what the Wolves need. But Shy Pengi finds Blank yet again. Alakath with the pick on the Lukey. Sweatpants finds Holy, and that is going to do it, as I believe the Barracudas were successful in pushing all the way past that extra inch that they needed. Oh my gosh, a very intense overtime there. Holy doing their best with the Mercy support to sustain as long as possible on the point. But man, the Coalescence and Beat, I think, really just put the Barracudas in a great position to just keep sustaining and winning those team fights. What an excellent play from the Barracudas.
What did I just watch? Barracuda seemed down and out for the majority of that offensive scheme that they were putting forward, and the Wolves control, like I said, how the Barracudas are controlling the tempo of every single engagement in game number 1. The Wolves in game number 2, or I guess I would say in the second half of game number 2, I mean, they seemed so dominant throughout, right? They stuck to that single point that they needed to make sure that the Barracudas weren't pushing anywhere past, and they did it for 95% of that game. But the Barracudas found that one moment, that one glimmer of hope, which was the Genji pushing through, getting into the back line with the blade. They tried with that counter blade, but it wasn't quite enough. And all of a sudden, you continue the momentum, you push through. Barracudas win map number 2. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and we will be heading into map number 3 in just a second. That's going to be hybrid on Midtown once again. Man, what an excellent way to end map number 2. We'll see if that I do believe that is going to be the competition level that we continue to see here in this grand finals. So intense, and I'm really excited to see what happens here on Midtown. As we saw, I believe it was the Barracudas just roll through this map earlier. We'll have to see if they're able to mirror that success once again against the Wolves, or if the Wolves are finally going to put one up on the board and give the Barracudas the run for their money that the Wolves are definitely capable of doing.
Yeah, I mean, game number 1, Barracudas dominant, right?
Absolutely.
Game number 2, Wolves dominant. for most of it.
Yes.
They have the ability to be competitive, very competitive against the Barracudas. Barracudas just happen to have 2 points to their name now as far as win in the win column. So really, this could get interesting if the Wolves are able to continue to stay resilient, and all you have to do is look to the next game, right? You don't need to win all 3. They need 3 games to win the series, but they don't need to win all 3 at the same time. You take each engagement, each game one at a time, and eventually you're going to find yourself in a game 5. So we'll see if they're able to do it.
Yeah, and we will find out here after we give a quick shout out to our friends over at Esports Tower. Once again, check them out over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Esports Tower. And also make sure to check them out at esportstower.com. They have a 2-week free trial. You could participate potentially in one of these rumbles, or they offer coaching for many different games, Valorant included. So, definitely go check out esportstower.com. And if you are interested in learning more about Shenandoah Esports, make sure to check us out at Shenyu Esports. And that's going to be on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And then, of course, for the YouTube and Twitch, which is right here, going to be Shenandoah Esports on youtube.com and twitch.tv. So make sure to check out, give a follow, and subscribe to all those socials, especially the folks over at Esports Tower who do such a great job running these tournaments. We're going to head into map number 3 now. The Barracudas heating up, but so are the Wolves. We'll have to see if this is finally where the Wolves put a stop to the Barracudas' pressure.
All right, so let's take a look at these early game comps. As we know, these initial engagements are everything for setting the tempo for the rest of the map. You can learn a lot about how a team is going to be approaching this map by the picks that they make before even any bullets are fired.
Yeah, Illusion going to be popping on the Junker Queen, whereas Control will be on the Zarya. Junker Queen in the beta was a very strong character, but not really now here in the final release of Overwatch 2. Control definitely going to have a better pick with the Zarya, but we'll see which player is able to get the most value out of their picks. And oh my gosh, wait, are the Wolves on attack here, or are they on defense? I could not tell if they decided to push all the way forward to the point already or not. We'll have to wait and see who gets that first contest. I do believe it is the Wolves, though, so Control with that Lucio just immediately forcing the fight over to the point. I don't know if it was a great idea, though, as Wolves are getting folded in the side room by Luki and Illusion, Shai Pengi, Sweatpants, everybody from the Barracudas getting a little bit of a pick there. And man, I don't think the Barracudas were quite ready for that push, but I don't think the Wolves were either.
And you know what? That can come from an IGL. They call down and they say, hey, we're going to make this move. We're going to try and catch them by surprise. And sometimes as an IGL, like you said, you may be catching your own players by surprise if that has not been a rehearsed play prior. Wolves not gaining anything from that initial engagement, but maybe just testing the waters against the Barracudas.
Oh, testing the waters too much, though, as Sweatpants is able to find 2 to open up the fight. We're going to see Illusion get the pick on a Control. Triplet finds Alakath. Sweatpants takes out Toxic Kill. And the Barracudas having a massive defense here. So the Wolves just really refuse to push through this train at the minute.
Well, you know what they say. You don't want to test the waters against Barracudas because they're waterborne.
Oh, true. They are fish.
Yeah, they spend more time there. So they need to maybe pick a different game plan and see how the Wolves are able to rally in these next couple of team fights as they've decided on their point of contact. And wow, Control just getting in it.
Yeah, Control definitely going to be forcing this fight forward, but Sweatpants with the blade going to be finding one on the pick on the Dermot. Unfortunately, Sweatpants is there to get the trade. Triplet able to find Toxic Kill. I don't know if that's going to be enough for the Barracudas as Alakath pushes forward with Blank now to the point. They are definitely going to get a tick here. We'll see if they're able to get the whole thing before the Barracudas are able to recontest.
Yeah, absolutely. See, right here, they are able to get that singular point. So at the very least, they have that to their name. Just a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. Blank trying to make this engagement his own. Only finding Luki, though. And that is potentially a shutdown blade there.
That's a good grab to keep the space maintain. But now the Barracudas responding by taking the toxic kill immediately once that grab let up. Now the Barracudas back on the point. 2 ticks over to the Wolves. They're definitely making progress, but they're down to almost 60 seconds now. Alakath has the ultimate. Derman has his ultimate as well. Toxic kill coming up on that beat. We just saw Blank and Control use theirs in the last fight. Shy Pengy and Illusion for the side of Barracudas. Luki coming up on a beat of their own here. So we're going to see 3 ultimates for both sides here as we approach potentially the final team fight of round number 1 if the Wolves are not able to get themselves onto this point.
And once again, opting to fight only in this train car. I love it. You'd only need to shoot a very narrow area, but that goes for both teams. Now, finally, spreading out a little bit. Derman and Blank falling. Shy Pengy in response. And this one is looking advantageous to the Barracudas in the moment. And the beat gets dropped for the Barracudas. Try and keep these remaining members alive. Illusion will fall. And that is still just 30 seconds left on the clock for the Wolves to try and get this first point.
I believe we actually had a little bit of reset. I don't know. Illusion with the picks, with the rampage on the 2 players from the side of the Wolves. Barracudas are going to use that beat here. But I think the Wolves might actually be able to get the contest onto this point here if Control's able to stay alive. Ooh, Control falls to Sweatpants, unfortunately now. And the Barracudas going to be looking so strong. 3 seconds left on the clock. There's going to be a contest from the Tracer. I don't think it's going to, or I thought I saw Tracer, but it was just Genji dashing by from the Genji. But it's not
there was an attempt there to extend the clock, but the Wolves falling. All 4 or 5 Barracudas sitting on the point waiting for anybody to trickle in, and that's exactly what happened. They were able to clean up any remaining Wolves being a little bit aggressive, trying to extend that clock out. And so the Wolves unable to get an entire point on the board, but they do have 92.5% of that first point captured. So if they're able to hold the Barracudas to less than that, they will take map number 3. Barracudas, though, only need to get 1 tick further than that, and they will be your champions tonight.
Yeah, it's going to come down to this last point, and if the Wolves are able to have a successful defense that the Barracudas have just been having a great time on so far, the defense. We saw them have great defense in the first game against the Eagles. In the second game, we saw the Wolves have great defense, but I don't know how they're going to be able to push through the Barracudas. They're just feeling so good. Obviously, they won out that defense, but we'll have to see how the Barracudas respond.
Right, but the Wolves, they showed great defense, but they eventually cracked, right? And they essentially, now that they didn't even get a single point on the board, they need to play 100% perfect, not just that 95%, right? Actually, they need to play 92.4% perfect, right? They need to keep the Barracudas from just barely clearing that first point. And we'll see. We've got our first engagement coming up here shortly.
Alakath opening it up with the pick on the Shy Pengy. That's going to be the Sojourn trade right away. Blank back on the Junkrat, and in this short corridor, I do not know how the Barracudas expect to push past this character who's able to just do so much damage. We'll see if the Orisa with their E is able to just deny enough of the grenades. Forcing the fight over to the point is going to be Shy Pengy, though, who gets the pick onto Derman. Illusion trying to make something happen here over on the side of the stairs, but now we're going to see the Wolves stacking up on the point. Barracudas rotating over to the left side now. Ooh, nice blade. Get that Orisa slightly damaged there. Shy Pengy and Sweatpants, though, going to be really having a great time shutting down the Wolves here on the point, and now the Barracudas just taking space. They have 1 tick now to their name. We're seeing Sweatpants just walk to the spawn to try and deny anyone from taking space. That Lucio might be able to sneak past, but I don't think the Sojourn Worm, they won't. And yeah, Shy Pengy able to take out Derman as well, and that could be exactly what the Barracudas need. But now the Wolves are back on the point, forcing the Barracudas off, giving them a little bit more room to breathe. But now the Barracudas are moving back in as a team, and there's going to be the stagger on to the Wolves now. Orisa going to be falling here.
Oh my gosh, the Wolves are in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe the Barracudas have done it. They will take the grand finals 3-0 against the Wolves. Wolves looked so strong all night, but finally going head to head against the Barracudas. Barracudas almost every step of the way were able to outpace. I would say that the gameplay through and through from the Wolves was very solid, but the decision making and the pacing from the Barracudas ultimately took down the Wolves in this best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, a great grand finals, though, going to the way of Barracudas, who are once again so strong here. Sweatpants making a great play at the end to deny that Sojourn and Lucio from being able to push back to the point as quickly as they could have. If they did not force that stagger there, the Orisa would have come in with a DPS, an extra support. It would have been a much tougher time for the Barracudas. But yeah, I mean, the Wolves had a great performance, especially on Circuit Royale. Unfortunately, though, will be falling in map number 3 to the Barracudas. Speaking of the Barracudas, our player of the week is going to be Sweatpants, who had an amazing performance on the Genji.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much to Esports Tower for presenting the player of the week. You can score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Make sure to check out esportstower.com once again, and maybe you could one day become a player of the week like Sweatpants, who's just an absolute monster with the Genji.
That's esportstower.com. An 8th grader, by the way.
Also, not to forget all these Zarya plays that you're seeing on screen from the first match against the Eagles. They just had a massive place. And look at this target focus here immediately onto the backline and taking out the tank, too. Just, oh my gosh, what a great use of the blade. And they always seem to have it. So, I don't know.
And that was the turning point right there in map number 2. Yeah. I mean, just making all the right decisions when it matters most. This player has such a bright future. Can't wait to see what he does moving forward, not only in Esports Rumble, the Esports Tower Rumble, but potentially finding opportunities at the next level. I guess the next level for him is high school. So at the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweatpants going to be a player to keep their eye on as they progress and develop here through Esports Tower and potentially just more things, as they are clearly a talented player. We'll have to wait and see what Sweatpants becomes. Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Sweatsuit.
I'm no longer really excited. But anyway, congratulations to all of the teams for participating tonight, and obviously to the Barracudas for a fantastic grand finals performance. The Wolves starting to make plays happen, but unfortunately the Barracudas just finding more success. I think that's going to do it for us. Stay tuned for the top 5 plays of the week. I have been Josh Cunningham. This has been Xander Merle Smith, and we are now signing off. Thank you so much for watching.